Well, that's it, gentlemen. We wrap up Melbourne Cup Carnival. It was good. It was long. It was tiring, but it was worth it. Sam Wood, Blake Johnson, Nick Lloyd, Matthew Zammit joining us via satellite. BJ, how was the carnival for you?
It was good. It was good. It was a fill up.
Yeah.
Back to winner in the Melbourne Cup. So
Yeah,
that was
okay,
good.
yeah.
It's always tiring. Like, it's a big week, massive week. A lot of extra form to be done, a lot of extra replay. So just sort of catching up on the work that I usually do, and I feel like I'm getting back on track. But geez, I was exhausted on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Done.
Did you treat yourself? Go out or anything?
Just some sleep.
On the floor of Sonny's room.
5 kilometre run, right, BJ?
I treated myself to a bit of sleep. No, I was done. My wife and I sat down on the lounge to watch a movie, and I think I was asleep within about 10 minutes.
Saturday night.
It was nice.
Oh,
you're burning some calories, mate. I've been following your story. You're burning some calories.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, we're fitness freaks here at the Leg Up.
We are.
We are just fitness freaks.
I usually just roll past Woodhead's house, pick him up. We go.
Carry him on your shoulders.
He pushes me around.
Literally picks you
I
up.
bought like a sprinting wheelchair for me to sit in, and he just pushes me up to the beach and lets me play in the sand while he does another
Like
couple
one of those
Ks.
dog prams.
One of the dog prams. That's where I was getting at. Yeah, that'd be good. I can still sleep in there. Usually has some snacks in there for me, which is nice. But
Sounds pretty
but
good.
one of the stories this week, was that last week, where I did the story after you, and I said, me and BJ just got back from our 5 a.m. run.
You were sweating.
Watch that one.
I was sweating, surprisingly. I was sweating. How was the carnival for you, Zammit?
Yeah, really good, really good. A good carnival on the punt. The big races probably saved me at times. So, getting Romantic Warrior in the Cox Plate without a fight in the Cup. The rest of those days weren't particularly good. So they got me out of danger, the value of sort of building a nice book of futures bets in those big races. As long as they come off, I guess. But otherwise, it's a big hole when they miss. Champion Stakes, another story, but we'll probably get to that at some stage. Let's say, Sam.
Yes. Nick, yourself?
Yeah, got through it.
Just unscathed,
relatively unscathed. Anyway, like the first Derby Day was a really good day for me, thanks to Damien Oliver and Queen of the Ball. Melbourne Cup Day finished in front. Oaks Day was a strip out, and Stakes Day, sort of thanks to a $9 winner in the last at Doomben, that got me out of trouble. So Flemington was a bit of a bloodbath back half of the week, but earlier in the carnival, had a really good Everest Day, Caulfield Guineas Day. So it was a fat old carnival, really.
Oh, that's good.
I'm like what Blake said about trying to catch up and whatnot. I feel like going into Stakes Day, that last Saturday of Cup Week, it was sort of just like scrambling doing the form on Saturday morning and Friday night. I don't think I was ever really on top of the card at all.
Well, with Sydney having such a dig now in the carnival, there's just been so much more racing to get our heads around, isn't it?
Yeah, and I sort of try to focus mainly on Queensland mostly, but like when you've got that quality of racing in Sydney and Melbourne, it's hard to sort of put focus on Brisbane. But then we had the first listed race of the season, or I think sort of summer carnival kickoff last Saturday too. So it was all happening.
And this haircut, that's not. You sure it's
the Eddie Munster.
You sure it's been a fat carnival? Because that looks like it's been done at home.
No, I went to the barber and he did ask me a lot of times, "Are you sure about this?" I said, "Mate, I can't afford the $30 for the."
As you're leaving, he's like, "Are you fucking sure?"
So how much do you charge it?
$25.
$25 for that? I'll shave your head now here in the office.
Oh, it might not be a permanent thing, but it was just it's bloody hot outside and I've got a thick head of hair. So I was like,
I'm envious of that hairline, mate. I won't tease you too much. I wouldn't mind that hairline.
Good. I'd love it.
Yeah.
I bet you two would.
I don't know how you stop it going further back across your head, mate. Whatever you.
He's just coming forward, I think. It's going to meet with the eyebrows soon.
It forms the monobrow.
Yeah, he's going to be like pupils, eyelashes, eyelids, and then his head of hair, I think. Right? It works.
Yeah, that's right.
Werewolf Boy or something. There is a bit of Eddie Munster with the little tip at the front for anyone that's...
Yeah, he could have...
For anyone that's not watching this, you're not missing much. I've got to be honest. It's not a great haircut, but it just feels like it paints a different story for Cup Week for you. $15 haircuts or doing them at home. But before we get in, we've got the Hunter this weekend. We've got the Caulfield Guineas. We've got the Sir Rupert Clarke. We've got plenty of racing still going on, which is fantastic. We're doing the live stream on Dabble this week before I forget, which is good. Hopefully tipping a few winners. You've been on fire on the live stream, Nicky boy.
Yeah.
Well, the ones that don't have the ones that don't have the specials attached to them.
Right.
But
I'll just talk about races that we're not.
Yeah, exactly. So that's exciting to look forward to. But what was let's talk about a top and a flop from kind of the Cup Week Carnival or even just the Carnival in general. What would be Zeman, I might know this one, but I'll start with you. What was kind of your highlight of the Carnival?
It has to be Imperatrice for me. I think we talked something around that mark, maybe for the Cox Plate Carnival or something like that, and I gave you guys her, and I still say her. How can you go past her? She's been amazing, so consistent, performing so consistently at that elite level, and sort of busting any myth that she away from Moonee Valley was going to be vulnerable or up the straight was going to be vulnerable. I mean, this is a mare that's won Group 1s in New Zealand over a mile. She's just an outstanding racehorse. You'd have to say she's the best racehorse in the country. Looking forward to seeing her back again in the autumn and I suppose taking on some horses in Sydney. It'll be interesting. I think there's a school of thought from the camp that she's a better horse than Melbourne Way of Going, and it's probably hard to disagree on what we've seen this prep versus that absolute misery of watching that Nonny Artorias mow her down on the post in the Canterbury Stakes. Her performances since that race, the reverse way in Melbourne, I think she's undefeated. I could be wrong, but I think she's undefeated. It'll be interesting then to see her back the Sydney direction if I assume they head down a TJ Smith path, but supposedly there's some real serious thought being given to Ascot.
Yeah, I'd love to see her go to Royal Ascot. I think she'd be the perfect horse.
So would we.
For a race like that. Like, I don't know what they're talking about, maybe the King's Stand, 1,000 metres down the straight.
Going to be called the King Charles now.
I think,
race.
I did see that, the King Charles III. So that's handy just as soon as poor old PVL puts a race on, named that in over 1,600 metres. They go, let's change this one and call it the King Charles in Ascot as well. But yeah, no, that'll be exciting if she goes over.
Yeah.
What was your highlight of the Carnival?
I think it's hard to go past what Without a Fight's done in the Caulfield Cup, Melbourne Cup. First horse since Ethereal to do it. He was just dominant in both, really. I know the margin wasn't as big in the Caulfield Cup, but that Melbourne Cup win, he pissed in. He just never looked like getting beaten when you watch that replay.
First horse since Mackay Tiva, wasn't he?
Oh, for about 2 minutes.
Did you put a post up and get stung for it?
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd better double check it after I posted it. I thought she won a Caulfield Cup.
She should have. She stood Elvstrom too much start, and she just missed him.
Forgive me, I was 3.
You were 3 at the time.
Do better, Nick. Grow up.
They weren't happy about it. They weren't happy.
Who's they?
Oh, he
People
posted it up. It was up for about 5 minutes, and I think they hammered him.
Wow.
What was your top take from the Carnival?
I think my top was that the punt was better this year because we separated the best horses. I feel like having the Carnival in Sydney and having the Carnival in Melbourne gave us access to more winners.
Okay.
So I feel like it made doing the form a lot easier in the best races because...
What do you mean? Because you knew where those horses were going? Like they were...
No, I mean that there was...
Less winning chances.
Yes, less winning chances, yes.
So an Everest, for example, where if Imperatrice had have been there, it would have been a bit more complicated.
It would have been more complicated, but the Everest is probably not the best example because it was still a tough race anyway. But I think that she probably would have won it. But I can't give you an exact example of a race because it's not coming to mind. But I feel like a race that is very deep is harder to do the form than a race that is skinny and you can just identify winners. So
every day of the week.
I feel like
every day of the week.
Yeah, 100%. Like the easier the class of race, the easier it is to find a winner. So it was great for the punt.
Here's your example. Was it the Caulfield Stakes? same day as the King Charles in Sydney. So Alligator Blood raced Vow and Declare and Jewess. They were the first three home, I believe, in that Caulfield Stakes. Same day as the King Charles was run, where traditionally, like, you probably would have had your Mr. Brightsides, you would have had your Zarkies, your Fangirls probably go to that Caulfield Stakes, whereas they went to that King Charles in Sydney.
Exactly.
I can see why you're saying that, BJ, because I know you're sort of a final field punting man. For those of us that are sort of right into the all-in markets, though, it's an absolute nightmare. There are many, many, many tickets lost, I would have thought, around the country, all-in tickets with decisions to go Sydney versus Melbourne or vice versa.
Except in both.
Except in both, yeah.
See where you draw.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, from an owner's perspective, absolutely. Why not? They don't care what.
Why not when
punters do.
there's no repercussions, really? Like, just accepting multiple races, because bad draws just get you beat. So,
Yep.
A highlight for me, and maybe because it was a little bit more of a personal experience, was Osmosis winning the Coolmore, not being there, but majority of us being together, and then seeing them that night. The ride from Rachel was phenomenal. Björn and Hildo and Rachel coming in hot to dinner and picking up the bill on the way out was pretty special. It was quite funny as well, like aside from the race and everything like that, and the success for friends of ours, but even like all the sports bet and punters.com wondering like what they got up to that night. And it's like, well, they're with us, so that was a bit of fun. But we'll turn to the flop of the carnival. And I want to get Blake's thoughts on this and Zamet, your thoughts on this. But being at the Golden Eagle Day, it just felt like another day at Rose Hill. Like, it did not feel like there was a $10 million race there. I was more excited for the last race. But yeah, I thought it must have, to have that much prize money behind a day and to have no lines at the bar. No, it was actually a good day to actually go to the races because it was easy to maneuver around. It was easy to get a spot to look. It was easy to get a drink and a feed and things like that. But surely that's got to be classed as a flop. To have a $10 million race day and they can't pack it out.
Yeah, I don't feel like it. I agree. I agree that the crowds weren't there. I expected there to be more people there. I expected it to be like a bit like Golden Slipper Day, but it wasn't. Whether or not that has any impact on the race going forward, I wouldn't think so. How much do like crowd attendance put into the race? I'm not sure. Like, what emphasis goes on that? Does it affect turnover on the race? I wouldn't think so.
Probably not. I'd say.
I saw a pretty interesting TikTok reel last night actually, and it was the Australian Turf Club posted it, and they were going around asking sort of mainly young people on Golden Eagle Day at Rose Hill, how much is the Golden Eagle worth? And like one person got it right with 10 million.
Really?
Like they were all like, 700,000.
So just like another race.
So it was just like another race day.
What did you think, Zammy? You're out there all the time. That's your home track as well. But what did you think? You've done Slipper and all that.
Yeah, I
Golden
think
Eagle
this is where the lack of history and prestige around the race comes in, I'd say. BJ called out Slipper Day, and he's 100% right. The West just turns out for that. That's their day, and I say our day. I'm a proud Westie. You've for years and for generations make the effort to get out there for that day. I think there's a long way to go for the Golden Eagle to be drawing crowds, but I would also say I think they've largely given up. To BJ's point, given up really promoting and going hard for attendance on race days in Sydney. They just don't have really the space and facilities to do the right thing by those patrons if they get them there in big numbers. It's a nightmare. B, they just, I don't think they feel like they're able to captivate people enough beyond maybe the Everest, where they really go hard and sort of back themselves to get a good attendance. I just don't know they go after it anymore like they used to. Growing up in racing, that was the be-all and end-all, was getting those attendances up, getting those numbers up, people through the door. They just focus now on betting turnover, and that's it.
It's just not a priority anymore.
I would say massive crowds probably negatively affects turnover.
Yeah,
because they're in the bar line rather than having a beer at home.
Because they can't get on their phone and have a bet because there's no reception.
Yeah, that's true. We were talking about that at, was it Stradbroke Day?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
pretty
like you
bad. But
couldn't get-
Everest Day was
The same.
bad as well.
Melbourne Spring's notorious for bad reception, especially
Yeah,
the
like
Flemington
it's-
Carnival.
Yeah, it's just a bit.
So imagine,
Yeah, that's
imagine how
a
many.
probably good point as well.
So you got
Let's
got
say
100,000
50,000
people there. Let's
Yeah.
say Flemington 100,000. You got 50,000 people they're doing their clacker after 6 races, and they want to jump on the chase. They got their credit card out. They want to put money into their accounts, and they can't do it. So
And it's cashless. All these race courses now.
Yeah.
Like, so how much cash if you're not a cash spender?
saw
And you don't
Pat
have a
using a
lot
bit of
there.
cash on
Pat's wallet's a
Mars
thing
mission.
to see, isn't it? It was.
He loves cash, that bloke. Loves it.
He leaves that wallet everywhere too. just a brick.
Gives him an extra inch.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe you're right. Because I was thinking about it yesterday, and I'm like, well, like, is it that are they trying to take on Derby Day? And maybe that's just a misconception from more so the Melbourne audience and Melbourne racing fans, that anything Sydney does is to try and take on or steal some of the spotlight. But maybe that's just not the case. But yeah, maybe there's another weekend they can put the $10 million race to, because it was a good race.
That was a
But
great
yeah, it was
race.
just
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like
Like,
Jewel, the Japanese horse, it was a very, very good race.
what about, like, what did you guys kind of have down as maybe a flop? Nick, I'll start with you.
Well, Amelia's Jill. No, but she wasn't my flop. But my flop is
Oh, Blake was rolling his sleeves up, man.
he was ready to rip in.
Greatest horse in the world.
Yeah. My flop is a little bit left field, and it's probably almost a little bit unfair, but it's the Godolphin Spring Carnival. I think that's a flop. I know they had Zardozi win the Oaks. They had Tom Kidden win the Spring Champion, but their 3-year-old stayers, they had panels on them, and I thought a pretty average bunch. But I don't remember a year where Godolphin, whether it be James Cummings here in Australia or whether it be Charlie Appleby or Said Bin Saror, not have one single runner in a Cox Plate Caulfield Cup or a Melbourne Cup across the whole thing. So I thought for an operation that's as big as what it is, has got the cattle as good as what they are, I thought it was pretty disappointing that
That's a good take.
that they weren't in big races. I know they had Cylinder and In Secret in the Everest. They ran good races, but they didn't win, and they didn't sort of threaten the scorer. So yeah, I thought they were pretty subpar.
They're looking for a new Animo, aren't they?
They're probably
Yeah, well-
they're in a rebuilding phase after Enemo.
No doubt, but that's
They'll
only
leave 'em
one
alone.
horse, and they've probably got
Like-
400.
A bit like the Storm. They're not much good. They're in a rebuilding phase.
I didn't say that. Storm don't go in. You don't think of Storm as at the moment the
Godolphin of.
That'd be
the
like
NRL.
Penrith not making the top 8 next year.
Yeah, look, I think it's a great take.
I think it was. I think,
it's a very good
it's
take.
fair. I didn't even know they didn't have a runner in
Yeah.
those three
It's the
races.
same here.
Just-
When I heard that, it was a surprise.
What about Björn calling him Little Jimmy?
Little Jimmy.
Calling James Cumming Little Jimmy on, was it racing.com or
Yeah,
whatever
I
it was?
think
And he
so,
goes,
yeah.
when I see him at track work on Monday in his hat, I'll just go over to Little Jimmy.
It would be
He's a
nice if
character.
they had a runner in the Melbourne Cup,
Yeah,
like Saad bin Sarua.
yeah. Someone like just
Bring a horse over.
I think they've had
Give it to
an
James.
ordinary time of it over there, haven't they? They've
have.
sort of.
Oh yeah, James is definitely the flag bearer for
Yeah.
Godolphin.
Oh, right,
worldwide.
okay.
Well, Appleby was flying for a while there, but he said the last couple of years, I think he's really come off the boil.
Well,
Yeah.
didn't they? They didn't have a winner. Did they have one winner over
Royal Ascot, I
Ascot?
don't think they did. No.
0?
It used to be unheard of. They'd take it to Cornwall, wouldn't they? Back in the day,
Who were the 2 horses?
Dubai Millennium
Might have been.
and Dubai Millennium. What was his name? The other one. I just can't place it. I'll think of it.
It's a good effort to even remember one. So.
Yeah.
He was
I
one. They had
I
another one actually. I think Dubai Millennium's not the one. The one that Nick's talking about. I'm trying to think who the 2 of them were.
Sam.
Something light, something fantastic light.
I missed
Fantastic Light, yeah, that's
Fantastic
the one.
Light.
I was
it?
thinking of
Fantastic-
I was
oh, yeah.
thinking older than that, where it was like a Godolphin and a Coolmore horse, like they were head to head. I don't remember if it was like Galileo and
Yeah, I
and
think it was
some other-
Fantastic Light and Galileo. I'm
Might
pretty
have
sure it
been.
was.
Yeah,
When
there you
Galileo
go.
was a 3-year-old, he nailed Fantastic Light, who was,
I was
a
just
4-year-old.
I was just
in a
about
big
to
race.
say that.
Yeah,
Just
you
about to say
had it on the
those.
tip of
I
your
bet you-
tongue.
Just about to say those 2 horses. Close.
But yeah, so I thought they were, they could have. They were stiff. Like I think Pericles would have won the Epsom if he was there, and they ran 2nd and 3rd in the Golden Eagle. But
Bit of team riding in that Golden Eagle, hey?
Not
Speaking of
enough. Not enough.
Take more for the team.
Yeah.
Blake, you got a flop for us?
Yeah,
A big flopper?
I got a flop. My horse leading into the spring was Francesco Guardi, and he just didn't come up.
What a flop.
So I will say, like, if you've got a horse 1 year, it doesn't mean you have that horse the next year. So Francesco Guardi probably, on the back of his win in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup,
He wasn't nominated, BJ. Couldn't run.
They could have
Well,
paid up,
nominated.
surely, couldn't they?
He couldn't
Don't
pay
think so.
up and be there.
No, I don't think so. No, there's no late noms for a Melbourne Cup. The only late nom they allow is the Victoria Derby winner, if that even still exists. I'm not even sure that exists anymore. They might have taken that away.
Okay.
That was the whole thing, because he would have run him. You're absolutely right. But he wasn't nominated.
They
Why
put him away.
wasn't he nominated? He should have been.
He should have been.
Yeah.
It was only an 1,800 metre benchmark horse, so maybe that's why he wasn't nominated. But yeah, I didn't know that, Zam. I didn't know that you couldn't pay a late nomination fee for the Melbourne Cup.
I knew that was the case with like the Lexus, because like you win that last race on the Saturday, you've only got to be one of those 3 horses that are still in the hunt. But I didn't know that was for the whole. Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's a missed opportunity for the Melbourne Cup, really, isn't it? They should let them. They should let the best horses run.
It's probably I don't know, maybe part of it is to force everybody to nominate everything. There's be a good little earn out of it for them, having everybody just nominate everything they've got in those races. That's close enough to the mark. Maybe it's that. I don't know.
That's why Bump and Run was nominated off a Class 2 win at the midweeks at Doomben last year over 2,000 metres, and he was nominated for the Cup. Like, come on.
So
Dare to dream, but come on.
like that horse, is it Land Legend?
Yes.
So it would have been a nice horse to see in this Cup this year. I know, like, you put him away, like they put Solcombe away. I know that he raced did he race like Queen Elizabeth Day or something like that? And
second to Goldman, didn't he? Or he won that race, yeah, sorry.
He won that race, and then he ran second to Goldman, and then he's come back and he's run second in the Melbourne Cup. So it's worked out perfectly for a horse like him. But like a horse like My Lucky Day, he runs second in the Melbourne Cup. They ran him in the Melbourne Cup, and then everybody thought it was like, let's put him away and win the Melbourne Cup next year. And they didn't have the same horse. So it's just...
And actually, conversely, there's good examples of them coming back after running in the Melbourne Cup. You've got Without a Fight, who's done it. You got Fiorente, who's done it. There's multiple examples where they may not win their first crack around.
Twilight Payment, he was the same. He finished down the track in 2019 and then won it 2020. Yeah,
I actually think that's only a recent time thing.
It is.
Previously, you only got one chance to win the Melbourne Cup. Horses that had run in the Melbourne Cup didn't have a good record.
You could
at another attempt. Yeah. So, like, Without a Fight, I can see how that happened because it was he just sort of landed here. It was a short campaign. He struck a wet track and we didn't see the best of him. So put away, comes back and
Fiorente ran third, I think. He was a good run, his first Cup, and then came back and was just dynamite. Nearly won a Cox Plate, nearly won an all-age stakes. I remember in the autumn.
Yeah, so that played out well for him. I think did Mac ride him in that first Melbourne Cup?
I think he might have actually.
I think James Mack rode him in that first Melbourne Cup. So
I think Nash was on leading up to the second, and then Ollie got on late, didn't he?
Ollie rode him when he won. Yeah. So he was like.
Remember the Cox Plate? He was 3 deep on the
start of the Cox Plate form in the Melbourne Cup.
It was.
Like
Mackay before that, I suppose, but a champion. So it's
really sort of in recent times that weight for age form has stood up in the Melbourne Cup.
Because it's a better race, isn't it?
It's because, well, I don't know why it is, but previously, like, horses would rarely carry weight for age weight in a Melbourne Cup and win. But now, over recent times, horses have been able to carry weight for age weight and win the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah. When was the last, it could be completely obvious, but when was the last horse to have sort of really carried like a 52 or less to win the race? Like Cross Counter and Rekindling?
It would have been
are they
those
the last
3-year-olds,
two?
Those European 3-year-olds. Yep.
Since then, we've had Twilight Payment. He would have been up around that 55 mark. Very elegant, carried a big weight. Gold Trip, big weight.
And they're just giving them more weight too now. So these European 3-year-olds then came along and were being hammered. Deauville Legend got a ridiculous weight.
Yeah.
Just because of reaction to the 3-year-olds before him.
Yeah.
There was who was that one that Waller ended up picking up that was held up on the rail behind Vale and Declare? He was going to carry a light.
Il Paradiso.
Il Paradiso, that's it.
Have you got a flop, Zamet?
I do, mate. Yeah, Jamie Spencer.
Fair flop.
I thought he
flop.
did West Wind Blows no favours in his prep. Just gave him a torrid run in a Turnbull and a torrid run in a Champion Stakes. There's a lot of people jumping up and down when I made a comment on Twitter saying, what was he supposed to do? Were you going to be happy with him sitting last? I think people were watching the wrong race. Well, he wasn't, though. He had a Tissues back. He was one off the fence and a Tissues back who ends up winning the race. They're going fast, so it's not like he's sitting there going, I'm back here, there's one or two behind me and they're walking. I'm just gonna make a move and go. They were going fast. They were already travelling really strongly, and he had the back of a Tissue one off the fence. He got off the rail. I actually thought he could wait and think, okay, well, look, maybe I'll just consider going early at the 800 or the 1,000. Was there any need to just take off immediately and just gas the horse in front? I thought that was a ridiculous move. I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't have won the race anyway. Who knows? But we'll certainly never know. I thought he just didn't. How many rides?
Was he 0 for 17 rides here?
Yeah, it was something like that. He gave a few of them a sore back.
He's never won on West Wind Blows. He's had many goes on him. Can't get him to win a race.
Yeah, I think he's run second on him like 5 times or something, like that. Damn, I've sort of got that thread there where you tweeted that what on earth was he doing, and the one person replied, the horse missed the start. You wanted him last on the fence, and I sort of got on your back then, and I said you can't possibly think that that was a worse option than revving him up and looping the field early on. And he goes, if he wasn't checked, he was coming again on the line. It was the correct decision, in my opinion. No hope if he's back there, especially the way the track played. Easy in hindsight to pot him. So, well, I was potting him about 100 metres into the race when he started to take off on him.
We were potting him before the race.
Yeah, that's right. It was I halved my bet because of it.
He's with all due respect, he's my flop. I thought he's done that horse no favours. A horse that
you can't say that, Sam. You can't say with all due respect.
You can't, but it's sort of like you have to say it.
He's a bum.
What
he's a bum.
Like just top to bottom bum? He's never been a good rider ever.
Well, I don't watch
He's
him.
a good rider in
watch
his
him
own.
over
But that's what
the seas.
Zamet's saying. You're thinking that, in all due respect, no one can say that. Zamet's saying, like, in respect that he could be a good rider, he's been here and he hasn't been one.
Well, I'm led to believe, although I don't follow the jockey
I
ranks
get
over
it.
there that much, but I'm led to believe he's not anywhere near as good as people make out over there either.
So why is he here? Why is he riding the favourite in the champ? Like, why?
Because people love him overseas. He's well respected. But on what he's done here, he's no good.
Yeah.
You can't, like, on TikTok the other day, this bloke said, with all due respect.
I think he was bagging me.
No, he said to me, with all due respect, what the fuck would you know?
Oh, that's right.
So you don't just get to say, with all due respect, and then say whatever
I don't think he asked either. I think he says, you don't.
Okay, all right, he's a bum. Okay, he's a bum.
That's different. That guy meant no respect.
Yeah, that's right.
He meant very, very little to no respect.
He probably is a champion rider overseas. Like, I don't watch overseas racing, but like if you bring your horses to Australia, put on a jockey who has the form on the board over here.
Spot on.
Well, if you want your horses to have the best chance of winning over here, that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
Like Maria is a great rider.
Yes, Ryan Moore's a good rider, but I'd be looking at the best Australian riders before I'd be putting those guys on. It's just
or if he has a definite bond winning connection with that horse, which he doesn't.
Even
he's ridden
Frankie's
that horse.
not the same rider.
He's ridden
over
that
here.
horse, but he's
Frankie has never been a good rider here. Never.
You know who?
Never
Jamie Spencer. They put him on Artorias in the UK from memory, didn't they?
I forgot it.
confident.
You could be
Yeah,
right.
they did.
I'm pretty sure that
And
he was. And
he was luckless one day, right?
yeah, like he should have won a. It was the July Cup
It was
on
the
the Saturday.
1300.
Yeah,
Might have been the
Platinum
1300.
Jubilee. Should have won that.
wow. And now we have the Hunter to look forward to this weekend. Wonder if
Hunter's great, right?
No Jamie Spencer, at least.
no, exactly. They're saved from Jamie.
So
I wonder if the big DJC's getting the body warmed up for the Hunter. Does
Oh,
anyone
yeah.
know any
I
reports
think
he'll
he
be
said
out
he's
there?
going because he's been asking Hildo if Hildo is going to be there.
Hildo's there.
Yeah, so I think
Hildo's gonna
DJC's going.
Oh, yeah, he'll just ride those.
Surely we
coattails.
can get a live vortex out the front of
That'd
Newcastle
be good.
Racecourse.
If you haven't joined Tips and Slips group, make sure you do, guys, because we'll get him to do something.
Hildo will look after him with some owners' tickets, won't he, Sam? He looked after you boys the other week, didn't he?
It was good. It was good. What did he get us in the end? Oh, nothing. That's it.
It was a donut. You maybe got last year's wristbands, was it? Or
That's right. No, that was Everest, mate. That was Everest. I was going to stay down for Everest and hopefully sneak in. He said the best way to get into Everest is I go in first and get the stamp, and then I quickly come out and I press it against your wrist. And then you can get in. Remember those TAV nightclub
probably thinks
days?
he's a genius too.
That was one of my first rorts was the TAV nightclub. As we all know, we grew up in the hills, and they used to have a stamp. You'd go in before 9 o'clock to get the stamp because then it was free. When we were underage, I'd stolen the stamp, and people used to come to my house, underage people, and I'd stamp them on Thursday night so they could go at $10 a pop. So I'd have lines of underage kids just heading into the nightclub with $10 a pop for a stamp. So it was just
What a scheme.
great.
We'll edit that bit out.
That's not illegal. If someone goes, oh, I'm like, yeah, maybe we will. I just shows that I was, what's that word? Entrepreneurial. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's get into the Newcastle Herald Hunter.
Great paper.
That doesn't clash with any of our sponsors.
Didn't know it's still around.
Newcastle Herald. Yeah. Oh, it's a great read, mate. Print is far from dead. These prices, as this podcast is, brought to you by Dabble. What's going on here? We got a full market?
Yes.
What's the favourite here, guys?
Mazu or
Far Too Easy?
Far Too Easy. Yeah, that'd be
First
right.
and second favourites.
It's about $6 a field.
Yeah, okay. It is too. It's Coal Crusher $6.50, Iron Me $7, King of Sparta $8, Opal Ridge $10, Rustic Steel. No, I'm getting that confused.
Yeah, no, he
with
won
something.
the big dance last year.
That was the big dance last year. That was the Hour of Power.
That was the Hour of Power.
That's it, Rustic Steel. How do we want to start this? You're a big fan of the Hunter. So we'll go Nick, we'll go Zamet, and we'll go BJ if you've got a thought on this. So Nick, give us your thoughts on the Hunter.
I like the Hunter as a race because I think Lost and Running and Valana have won the last two, so it's been fill-ups. Not as confident this year, though, but I think Coal Crusher's going to run a big race. I backed him that day in Sydney in the Sydney Stakes. He was a $51 chance and had a good bet each way on him, and unfortunately he ran fourth, but that's pretty typical. But it was a really good run that day. He carried 58.5 kilos at the weight for age, and then he went around last start in the Giga Kick Stakes. He ran fourth again, beaten 1.5 by Bella Nipentina, Private Eye. Think about it. So any of those three line up here, they're odds on. I would have to have thought. Barrier 2, fourth up. He's just going to probably control the speed, I would imagine. There's not a whole lot of tempo in it. Military Mission with Rach on board from Barrier 3 will go forward, but I think he gets a pretty cozy time of it. Now fourth up, 1,300 again. He's ready to win.
Coal Crusher. Zamet, you got one for us?
King of Sparta. I thought Total Forgive run last start. Prior to that, and when I say Total Forgive, I think it was literally 5 wide without any cover, and a few lengths off the speed, and lost a plate in running. Just everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong from barrier 15 there. No great surprises, but he was in the market. His Betfair starting price was $8.50, so he was hardly given no chance there, despite that map. Which I thought was interesting. No surprise, though, because prior to that was excellent in that Bobby Lewis, where he really gave Star Patrol a fright. Star Patrol's awesome up the straight. One of the more informed horses in Melbourne there up over the sprint trips, and he really gave him a fright. Before then was a really good fourth to think about in the Kingston Smith Cup over 1,300 metres, the distance of the Hunter. I thought he was probably ridden a touch close that day. Didn't really get much luck trying to get off the fence and get into the clear in the last 100 or 200 metres, and would have probably finished a little closer than the 1.5 lengths he was behind. Think about it that day. It's obviously as good a form as any form running around in New South Wales on Saturday, I would have thought. I'm sure he'll get that distance, even though he hasn't ticked that box. He should get a nice enough run in transit, and looks the value bet to me at, I think, $8.50, somewhere around the place I saw. Not sure what Dabble's showing.
Yeah, $8.
$8, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Page.
tough race. I think $6 a field is fair enough. I'm not going to tip anything. I would. IME's going to come out, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think she'd go for the Group 1, yeah.
Yeah, and 1,300 metres would be a stretch for her. So
She's going to 1,400 in Melbourne.
that'll be a fair stretch. I think Marzu's going better than his form suggests.
If he's at his best, he just wins, right?
Yes.
Did enough first up, and
Yeah.
then he missed a run into that Everest.
Yeah.
They scratched him, sent him back to the trials, and then he was okay in the Everest. Forgive the beaten margin, chopped out late, and then he was okay again last start behind Bellinipatina. He
A
started
lot of okays there, mate.
shorter in the market.
He's not tipping anything.
Not tipping anything. I think
Just saying what's okay.
okay.
I was hoping one of you said Marzu because I reckon it's a
Okay.
good bet in this
He
race.
wants a soft track, doesn't he?
He's going better than okay.
I'll take that.
Look at him.
Like he's
Win.
different gravy to these horses.
Done.
He's different
Oh,
gravy.
yeah, no,
Like really,
I agree. He hasn't won for a while. That's got to be
he hasn't won for
that's
a while.
negative, but then
His
again,
gravy is dried up, mate.
a few of the horses in this market are also in that.
I'd be surprised if he's not fighting out the finish. I'm interested to see what the market does with him. I think it'll trend towards him.
I think he's a strong hope, but obviously I can't.
Soft track, I would have come into him, I think.
I probably would lose Zamet and Nick's support if I went with Blake's when he said he's not
Not
tipping.
tipping
He's
anything
not even tipping it.
at the end of this show.
I don't know. King of Sparta just got no favours last run, hey?
No.
It didn't suit either that. I can't remember. Did that speed suit that horse that day? I can't.
No, the tempo wasn't there.
Was it?
No, they went relatively slow. She led and won in IME.
Yeah.
Man was 3 wide on the speed, and he stuck on, ran
Yeah, it was a
second.
slow tempo.
I actually thought he ran okay, all things considered. He wasn't bad. It's
A lot
just
of okays there,
forward.
Zamet.
There's one there. No, but he was dynamite prior to that. And he's actually never beaten one of mine. He's not been a horse I've found. And I don't like the race particularly, but yeah, he stood out to me as a value bet in the race.
Compelling case. Well, I love Coal Crusher, and he is flying.
Let's lock in Coal Crusher.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, the OKs did not win it.
No, he's going better than
the
okay.
OKs don't have it.
He's going good.
Okay, let's chuck Coal Crusher in the multi. And then let's head over to Caulfield. Has all those tickets been allocated? Do you know this? The Melbourne Racing Club gives us 100 free double passes.
Yeah, good. Oh,
Hello, Patrick.
you are kidding. Has he just joined halfway through?
Yeah, boys.
I tell you what, he's pretty much timed it very well.
Welcome, Patrick Allendorf. I don't know somehow if he was waiting for us to get through the Hunter for him to just roll
Just didn't
into
do
the
the
Group
form.
Ones.
Is IME scratched?
Fantastic. We've already done this.
Good. Scratched.
Oh, welcome, Patrick. How are you?
Good, boys. Good. I just a bit busy here. Just opening a new warehouse.
He just took delivery of 65 TVs, guys.
Wow.
Yeah, if anyone needs one, come down to Sydney Wide. Discounts are right on me.
Yeah, that doesn't clash.
So
with
that's the paid
responsibility.
ad. That's the paid ad. So let's move on.
Well, Blake looks upset that you've come into this.
No, I'm not upset. I'm not upset.
Do you hate?
Do you know what
Pat.
story
Do
I
you
love?
hate
The one
Pat? He said, "Hate Pat, hate
I like.
Pat."
I like the story about you falling off your bike. I mostly like the falling off the bike part.
Can we tell that again? Oh, we haven't got
And
time.
I've actually got a sore knee still from that. So.
Shivers.
Yeah. Oh, it's horrible.
Poor bugger. Poor bugger. Pat, we're just heading to Caulfield. We're just heading to
let's go.
Caulfield.
Are you coming?
For the Sir Rupert Clarke State. Let's start with the 1,000 guineas.
Yeah.
Maybe start the race in sequential order, maybe. Race 7, if you're currently looking through your Dabble app, and if you are currently looking through your Dabble app, head on over to the Leg Up, give us a follow. Skybird is our $4 favourite. Corvalente, $4.20. Jolly Star, $6. Arctic Glamour, $8.50. The rest are double figure odds. Skybird, Nick, one of yours.
Yes.
Start with you.
I hope she
Tell her.
wins.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I think she's one of the top I think she's the best 3-odd filly in the country. There you go.
There you go, everyone.
Yep, she's unbeaten. She was really good. So she came through those sort of country maidens, and then I think raced the older horses, maybe a benchmark 64 off the top of my head. But she blew them away at Bendigo. She blew them away at Ballarat, and then the seas parted at Moonee Valley in that Fillies Classic where she came up the fence, didn't go around a horse, and she sort of really got stuck in late to win the race. But she comes out of 3 sort of really slow races where the tempo just it hasn't been there, and she's been last. So she's had to reel off some freakish late splits to get the job done. I think there's going to be a little bit more pressure here. Hoping barrier 2, she can hold a spot just as long as she isn't tardy away, which she has been known to do. But she's going to, if she can jump and she can settle closer, I think she's going to be really hard to beat. Coeur Volante, the obvious danger, and I think Arctic Glamour can bounce back, but I'm just.
I got some stable mail there actually.
Oh, yeah,
here we go.
Here we go.
I'm not tipping it, but
See, everyone's not tipping stuff today.
they did text me and say, "I hope you boys are getting on this weekend. We like it."
What? Corvolante?
No, of Arctic Glamour.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
That was from one of the owners. I just wrote back, no.
lose this number.
Nah, don't go to the races, obviously. Watch it from home.
Yeah, don't go. So what about this? There's a couple of your horses in here. What are you liking?
Yeah, I like the market. Found it very hard to split Skybird and Coeur Volante, but I've gone with the latter. I just think she gets a much better run in transit. Much prefer her map. And I think she's equally talented, equally untapped as Skybird. I love them both. It's very, very hard to split, but she's where I've landed based on where I think she'll be in the run. By that awesome stallion, New Zealand stallion, Poisseur, who's doing a marvellous job. Levante, Legato, a range of nice horses his side. This is another one. I think the Maronis are quietly confident she's one of the better horses they've had through the yard. Lots of upside. Got an amazing ride from Blake Shin there last start from a wide draw. Won't need anything like that this time around. Should find it very easy to get a nice spot, one off the fence, just off the speed. Whereas I think Skybird is going to be back on the rail and he's going to need plenty of luck again. And when you're getting up to this level of competition, unlike last start, you're going to need probably every bit of luck to go your way or be much, much, much better than them. And Coeur Volante, I think, is the one for me.
Missing the start won't help.
No, but it's not often that you get a Cox Plate winner go around in 1,000 guineas.
Yeah, and you can't really knock Skybird either. What isn't it 3 for 3?
She's unbeaten.
Yeah,
she is a superstar.
She's got the most upside in the field. You'd have to
doesn't
say.
need the luck when you have a lost one.
One
One of these horses loses its picket fence. I think they're both 3 on the 12.
So Everlong lost on debut, but then
and then
has gone
3 on the try. Yeah.
I think Superstar's a bit.
Oh, Patrick, when you're sitting on overs tickets, they can be as good as you want them to be.
Sorry, have I missed the Nick's Futures tickets
Needs its own segment.
weekly preview?
You're in the group chat, mate. You're in the group chat.
He vomits overs.
I've stopped.
He vomits overs.
That's a good.
That's
Very
Nick.
good.
That's Nick with his overs.
That's me on Nick's
At least your
overs.
hair
Give
won't
me
get in
one.
the way, Nick.
That's right. Yeah,
That's why I cut it.
I don't need to get the missus to come and hold my hair
No,
back.
exactly. You just get her to cut it. All right, Pat. What wins then?
Well, I don't often
Between
tip,
those two.
No, I don't often tip Gary Patelli's horses, but
Here we are.
I like the top. Well, here's where I've landed. In a bunch of fillies, I don't think there is any superstars here, and I think she's been running around, or she's been the perennial bridesmaid this preparation, where she's carrying 2/3 and I think 3 seconds. But she's going absolutely enormous. Last start had an absolute gut buster, and we were taking $4 and comes out here at $10. And the thing that beat it and runs seconds at 6s. So I think she represents a bit of overs and is also a very nice horse that's been running right up there with 2 very good ones in Tis Invincible and Tropical Squall. So, yeah, I think she'll appreciate the mile, and I think Portelli can get the job done here.
You better say a name.
Oh, the toppy, Kimochi.
The toppy, that one.
The toppy. Is there 2 toppies? Is there 2 toppies in it?
I don't know. I just go sort by odds. So I don't know who the top is half the time.
Yeah,
And Kimochi, yes. And nothing revs you up for a horse that's going to win coming straight off a gut buster. Hey, they're the words you want to hear, like absolute gut buster. I'm ready.
3 wide the trip, jumps
10-day
from 40.
turnover. What was it? Ran on Melbourne Cup Day, didn't it? Yeah. Ready to go.
I'm coming pretty good off a big Melbourne Cup performance, though. So I think
I think you had a gut buster of a day, I reckon.
Yeah, I think if I've come out the other side, she should be all right.
I've never seen someone get a hornier spread with a table full of oysters for a Melbourne Cup party that only has family members there.
Yeah, it is a bit weird.
Another oyster, Mum?
Let's oil wrestle.
No,
I should have chose different activities. Should have chose different activities to the day as well.
Eating smoked salmon off each other.
Sushi for lunch. Guess we're representing it.
Body plate.
Wheels are out.
I'm the host. I can be the plate. I like it. Any say here, Blake?
Nah, nothing from me.
Just
Nothing
giggling
to add
over
from
there
boys.
on the casting couch.
Fucking dicky
Funny.
knee.
I was just
Yeah,
imagining the hair in the sushi.
Who, Suze?
She might be watching, Pat.
Settle down, Blake.
She is a fan. She is a fan.
I'll tell you, if she's not Gail, we'll tell her about this. Blake thinks about you, Sue.
Gail will be watching.
Pat and Blake's mum talk. Is it daily?
Yeah, I would say
At least,
so.
maybe
probably.
twice.
Yeah, and they still have no idea what this podcast is about, or your mum calls it a blog, Pat. How you doing your blog today?
The problem is there's a filter on the podcast where you can just filter out everyone else's voices. So technically, they only listen to me and Blake. So I've tipped Kamachi and Blake's gone, yeah, I don't really like that race. They just move on. They don't listen to all the guff that you two are going on with. And you as well, Nick, that haircut.
Oh, okay, guys.
Thanks, Pat. At least I've got hair.
I know. Yeah, why would any of you buy into this? Zamet's
Look
had
at
a go
that
at him.
hair.
Pat has great hair. He just shaves it all off.
Yeah, he has great hair. He does.
Hell,
Nick has about
He's
as
just-
much respect for his money as he does for his hair.
Yeah, wrong. $15 hair.
Just gets rid of it all. See ya. No
Blake,
respect
sorry.
for
Any thoughts on this race?
No.
Nilch.
Jeez, it's a good race, BJ.
It
You
is a
having
good
a look?
race. I have no idea.
He
No,
doesn't
I
like
haven't had a
tipping
look
stuff.
yet.
He's not like me. I'll just say a name. I don't care.
I hope Skybird wins.
Feed him something.
Just throw the dart.
The best photo from
Yeah,
Woodhead
sure.
of Golden Eagle was him sitting there with the form guide upside down.
Yeah, I wonder where that was the mug. The mug thinks it's the most hilarious thing that I don't. I just
I
don't
know.
have time to inform. I'm surrounded
I will
by
never forget it.
great. What did DJC call you yesterday? One of the great horse brains.
Horse brains.
Yeah. He said you got
I don't think that. I think he's meant to say racing minds.
His vocabulary let him down. One of the great horse brains.
One of the great horse brains of our generation.
what a wordsmith.
it's at the Melbourne Museum next to Farlah.
Yeah, Bart's heart, Blake's horse brain.
I got about 30 years of learning to come, so plenty to go.
Fill that horse brain with knowledge, mate.
I can't split the top two here. How do we, Blake?
So
choose for the next one into the.
He can't split.
I've just put a pen through Komochi.
Pat, he can't split Komochi or Cua Volante.
That's how
No,
I heard it.
Skybird or
Skybird or
Corvalante.
Corvalante.
The toppy.
The top two in the market.
Oh, see, that's just confusing, Pat, isn't it?
I don't think it was.
I don't think anyone.
Pat didn't even say the horse's name. You didn't have a tip. He didn't say the horse's name. It's got to be between those two. Help me
Go,
out here.
play the percentages. The one with the better map, better speed map. Corvalante.
Are we going?
Is it-
This is place. I'm happy if you go Coevalente place.
We don't know yet.
Fucking Burke and Wills here. Look at the map. Look at the map. Where are we going?
We're covering more ground than the early explorers, mate.
This is like when Optus went down the other day. You were the only one driving around, knew where you were going. Look at the map. Get the UBD out.
The old UBD, yeah.
The old yes.
Take Skybird.
Oh, I was just going the other way then.
Well, take the other one. But we were
Blake,
sitting,
Blake,
Blake's
I
firm in no corners.
didn't tip Way to the Stars, Blake. It wasn't Way to the
we
Stars.
were sitting on the lounge. Did you watch the win of Skybird? It
Yeah.
was pretty impressive.
Nothing
she was
nothing
held
can
up.
ruin a picket fence like us throwing it on top. Maybe throw it in a place.
It's a great ride, but it was a
I'm
great
going
finish.
Skybird. Yeah, good. Bo Mertens.
Can't knock it.
He can't.
Bowie's on. Bowie.
How about
He's been
Bowie?
riding very well, hasn't he?
Pat had the
Group one
confidence.
Bowie.
I would have went with Pat if I was locking in.
Yeah. See, that's why our mums love each other. We love each other.
We're locking in Skybird.
I never wanted you to fall off that bike.
Thanks, Dave.
He didn't. Trust me, he didn't. Okay. Sir Rupert Clarke Stakes, where Magic Time is currently $3.70 with Dabble. I Am Me in this market at $8. Straight Ace $8.50. Volana $10. And they go on. It's a big race, big wide open race. Nick, kick us off. Is it Magic Time or it's not Magic Time?
Wait, Nick, before you start, is this race usually at the start of the carnival?
Yes. Yeah. They've moved it.
So it can be a part of the
I thought they
All-Star
turned me
Mile.
upside down.
Yeah. I don't know why. I think they've just tried to extend the carnival. So it's just a glorified Group 3, really, with a couple of nice horses in it.
It's throwing me right out.
Magic Time, I wish she drew a gate. She just can't draw a good barrier, the poor thing, because she should have probably won the invitation if she drew a barrier. And now here, I think that'll be her genuine excuse if she does get beaten. But she's going to be very hard to beat.
The field will break up, I think, Nick.
Yep, quite possibly.
So what'll bring that?
The speed ride.
I'm with the Sydney form. I'm with Straight Acer from Ed Cummings' stable.
The midway
Up
horse.
we go, Nick. I'll jump on the back of this. Let's
The
go,
midway
bro.
horse.
Yeah, Zam, the midway horse that I declared would win the Stradbroke after he ran second in the Silver Eagle, and then he's run fourth in the Golden Eagle. So
This isn't the Stradbroke, Nick. I hate to tell you, mate.
I backed him in the Golden Eagle at 60-1. I can't believe it couldn't lob. It's a big run.
It was
Oh,
a good run.
you were crying it, weren't you? You were cheering it after the post. That's one straight acer.
that was,
I think that's the
Cheer
Japanese
that
horse.
stupid Kiwi horse
Who was it?
that has similar colours to the.
What's it
Crown-
called?
Legato.
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 The
What's he
Kiwis with
doing?
the big
He's
nuts.
he's
I thought
cheering
I'd
the
won. And then bloody Konnichiwa.
Kimochi.
Konnichiwa. Mate, that was a big
Okay,
surprise.
Straight Acer. Keep. Come on.
Yeah,
I'm getting warm now. I'm getting warm.
Yeah, so he's the midway horse, but he's absolutely airborne. So he comes out of the Silver Eagle, the Golden Eagle, this preparation, beaten, pretty much less than a length in both. 1 length in the Silver Eagle, a length and a half in the Golden Eagle, and now here with 55.5 kilos from barrier 4. I think, like Zam said, there's speed on.
Mark Zara, best thing going for him.
Do you think he caused the interference in that Golden Eagle?
The horse did by laying in, but Tyler Schiller, he did, and it wasn't his fault that the horse laid in. He did his best to straighten him up, and that's why he got off.
Tell you what, the SP profiles will find this horse 40-1, 50-1, 950. Group 1.
Do you know any of those, BJ? SP profiles?
1 or 2.
Well, I'm sick of getting
Pat loves an
hammered,
SP
so
profile.
Pat, jump on the back of me. And
I'm with you, Nick. I don't know any SP profilers, though.
What are they?
Sick puppy profilers.
Anything to add on Straight Acer,
I
Pat,
did
or
take
just jump on?
$26 straight Acer.
No, it's probably that ducking in didn't help it in the
No.
in the Golden Eagle and getting involved in that interference, but it caused it. So I guess I don't know. It just would have been good with an uninterrupted run coming down the outside, drops back in distance a fraction, but it's flying this prep, and I know it's like 9th up or something, but it still is
It's
just
had a couple little rests there.
Had a little tick
3 weeks
over
between run
trial
last
and-
time.
it's just still producing big runs though. So happy to stick.
Sure, Nick's got overs on it.
I did. I was listening to Racing HQ on Monday or Tuesday morning, and Dave Stanley said it'll be going there and not the Hunter. And I did take $26.
It's a good heave, isn't it?
So it's what we think of Nick's overs.
You can't eat overs, but you can
spill
spew them out.
You can vomit 'em up.
Spill 'em out.
Oh, give me a ticket to wipe me mouth. I just
That's why they keep the big pile of overs tickets for the Fuges tickets
That's
here.
that's the Osipenko bet I had in this race. That's what I'm using to wipe my
Wipe your
mouth.
mouth. Okay, lovely.
just imagine next to the toilet there's a big bog roll bag of overs tickets.
At the end of each week, we just glue all the tickets end to end and put them on the toilet roll. Zamet, what's drawn your eye in this race?
Look, I'm obviously I wish Magic Time drew a better barrier, but I think she has the tactical speed to overcome. She was cruelled by it last start, but was still enormous. She's still nearly beaten Espiona there. Espiona goes back to 1,200 metres and runs exceptionally well behind Imperatriz and Buenos Noches in the champion sprint. Magic Time stays at 1,400. Better setup for this race, and I think what she needs is Buffalo River out wide just to string him out a little, which she really knows no other way, and just create a gap or two in those sort of first 3 to 4 lengths off the lead, where she can slot in somewhere there. And if she does, either getting cover or one off the fence somehow, some way, I don't think they beat her. The one that I think is a little forgotten here is Ayrton, back to his favourite place, 1,400 metres Caulfield. Was enormous off a very, very slow speed, wide and back last start. You can forgive him, give him a big tick back to his favourite track and distance. He's the other one I wouldn't want to not say anything about. But
Who was that, Zammy?
Ayrton.
Ayrton.
Oh, okay.
But if she gets an ounce of luck, she's the best horse in the race and she'll win Magic Time.
Okay.
I agree that Ayrton is a bit of a sneaky hope too. I was thinking they might have aimed a little bit lower and waited a week and gone to the Cranbourne Cup over a mile.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But if you've got a horse that is that good, 1,400 Caulfield, and the Group 1's there in front of you, you probably have to have a crack, don't you? And just give him his chance. Might be his only chance to win a Group 1.
He could,
And
he
it's
could
not
back,
really
he
a
could back
Group
up.
1. It's not really the Group 1 strength.
Well, it's not this year because they've stuffed around with the timing, but historically it's been a great race.
Are any of these horses in the race Group 1 winners?
I don't
no.
think so, no.
How's that for on the spot?
Yeah,
I don't think
Not
so
a Group 1
either.
winner amongst them.
Skewiff, she's not a Group 1 winner in New Zealand, is she?
She could be. The Inferno might be in, Singapore over Group 1?
Oh, yeah.
They don't count. They don't count.
No, there is one. There is one. Zutori won a Newmarket. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, it's Skew if one. The Hastings Cup. No, the Thoroughbred Breeders' Stakes.
There's a little bit of other than Magic Time. There's another little bit of magic in this race with the possible fairy tale of this being Ollie's last Group 1 in Melbourne. His first ever Group 1 win was in a Rupert Clarke Stakes.
There you go.
So
You're kidding.
Interesting.
that would be pretty amazing.
Wowee.
$10 for the look. Godolphin, we spoke about them off the top of the show. They might be able to round off. They'd probably be desperate to get involved.
Yeah.
The last Group 1
Well,
of the...
Villana won the Hunter on this day last year, so...
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
the
definitely.
stars
He knows
are
how to
aligning.
win today. I want a little ticket on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good
Share on the
horse.
fairy tale.
Well, he started
Open
the
the Dabble app.
He
Let's get
started
the
a
punters
similar
club on
price
that.
in the Stradbroke.
Yeah, the punters club last time.
Get the
Well,
Punters
this
Club
has
money.
got to be... I know this isn't a Stradbroke, but it's a 1,400 metre handicap. That
He was
similar
very
sort of-
wide last start, very wide, but I thought Ayrton was better than him.
Yes.
Everything comes back to Brisbane form.
Yeah, I don't know how many times the
Stradbroke.
has been called not the Stradbroke
Oh.
in its history.
If
right,
you've run,
it is-
if
it's
you've
not
run
the
in the
Stradbroke.
Stradbroke,
He's right, it isn't.
Not the
And then-
Stradbroke, but it's the same
He said it
conditions
again.
and it's the right sort of horses.
Do you pay Nick per Stradbroke comment? Or
No, Racing Queensland do.
Yeah, they've got him on the book. Great advocate for Racing Queensland.
Reach out.
Mackay Cup's on today. That's where you're from.
Mackay Cup, no. And I'm not from Mackay.
Paddy's got some
Is it the Mackay
roots in
Cup?
Mackay. You got some
I'm
old
from up
roots in
there.
Mackay, don't you?
You're not
call
from
them
there.
all.
You're from Cairns.
Okay.
Oh, we know a lot of people in Mackay, though.
Oh, same town.
The
Same
sugar,
town.
sugar City.
He wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
He thinks that's a club that they go to. You guys going to Sugar City tonight?
Still got the stamp from last night. It's great.
That's
Great.
the boomerang.
Oh, is it? Boomerang, okay. No Sugar City. Blake, do you have what you've heard compelling cases for a lot of runners in this race? You've heard lots, fairy tales, the fact that this isn't the Stradbroke.
Midway horses.
Two of the boys are on Sydney form horses. Any opinion?
Yeah, Magic Time's one of mine, so I have
Get
to go
in.
with her.
Come on.
I thought she was outstanding last start. as Zam said. She was just covered extra ground. That was a good tempo. Like, I think Schiller, made a mistake last start. I think he should have went on with the job.
Yes.
He went to go forward. There wasn't a spot there. And then he came back. So, I think if he goes on with the job and either finds the front or outside the leader, she probably wins that race. She still, she was entitled to shirk her task, but she didn't. She just, she hit the front.
Yep.
Espiona's
franked the form too. She
round.
went really good in that champion sprint on Saturday. Espiona.
Yeah, and she was back to 1200 there, whereas sticking at the 1400 magic time.
Yes.
I think she's a Group 1 winner in waiting, so...
I do
maybe
too.
Stradbroke.
He can barely get through.
He's just like, that's just a straight bro. This is straight bro. Just dying.
Fantastic. Oh, well, look, I'm going to lock in Magic Time. I'm going to lock in Magic Time. Otherwise,
we've been hard done by that.
if it was straight ace, it would have been Nick's had 3 from 3.
What's wrong with that?
I know. I should.
Pat's
do it
got
too.
0, poor bastard.
We would have given him the
last
hunter.
20 minutes of the podcast.
We would have given him
Who's
the
you like in
hunter.
the, who's you like in the hunter?
I am, mate.
That's
It's
gonna
not
be
The scratch. Okay, go again. Don't tell him what we locked in. Who'd you like in the hunter?
Let me go back to it.
Right at the end of the.
This
the-
is Sparta.
Come on, let's-
Let's see
No.
what he says. No,
No,
okay.
Mazu.
No.
Oh, he would have got it.
There you go.
He would have got it. No, we locked
Wasn't
in
it?
Coal Crusher.
Did you really?
Yeah, yeah. So
Another one for the SP profilers.
the multi, the locked in multi this week is Coal Crusher, Skybird, Magic Time, all to win. How's that sound, boys? No place chances in there.
You should take Cold Crusher a place. It always looks like it's going to win and ends up fucking just running a place.
It does. I agree. Newcastle,
like-
Cole. It's the topical
Cold
tip.
Crusher.
That's what I mean.
5.
It's Coal City up there, isn't it?
Yep.
I know it's Steel City for anyone. Very proud Newcastle Astrians.
Newcastrian.
Newcastrians.
Castrated.
Rick Astrians.
Rick Astley.
Rick Astleyans. Okay. Let me just. This hasn't updated.
What do you tip in the hunter, Nick?
Coal Crusher.
Coal Crusher. That's what we went
Oh,
with.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me have a look. Let me just go back to that race and put Coal Crusher in and
No, I couldn't have it.
What was your flop of the
Hunter.
carnival, Pat?
Coal
Sorry?
Crusher.
Do you have a flop
What?
of the carnival, Paddy? You're good.
Did I have a flop?
Yeah,
Yeah, what about all the people that were bagging Jamie Carr at the start of it? I thought they are the flop. She's come out and ridden.
There's our segue.
They're the
Pat.
floppers.
They're flogs.
They're floppers.
Yeah, but she's
They're
come out and
bums.
ridden, what, 7 or 8 from 28? Like,
Form is
She's
temporary. Class
pays to
is
shut your
permanent.
mouth. So that's probably the flop. What was my other flop?
I asked Pat for a top and a flop, and he just did 3 flops.
I was just bagging everyone.
The
Coal-
sushi from Melbourne Cup Day.
it was horrible. Massive outbreak of gastro at the Eleanor.
There's a big cluster in the right area.
Terrible because no one could go into work the next day because he's all worked together. He's all eat Melbourne Cup sushi off each other. And then,
And funnily
Day
enough,
off,
we all work at Optus.
Those oysters, mate. Those oysters.
oh, I
it
can't
was
believe
out.
it. Can't
Oi,
believe it.
I was like, oi, Mick, do you reckon this will fit in there? While I was at Optus. He's like, oh, here you go for it. How many oysters did you have?
Just feeding each other oysters. The 2 Allendorf brothers. Coal Crusher the place, $2.15. Magic Time the win, $3.70. Skybird the win, $4. That'll take. That's a beautiful. That is a good multi.
That's a beauty.
What price?
$31.82.
That's perfect.
That's good. Go on, copy.
You got a rocket?
I got one.
We'll hit it.
All right, let's
Let's
do
see
it.
how you get.
Is
where
this
you
in
get
your
to.
account or the leg up account?
This is my
his
account.
I just
Your
go and
account.
copy his.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do a rocket right now. Let's see how we go, all right? I'll do it.
Right, let Pat say when to stop.
Okay, so I'll tell you when to go,
You tell me to start.
and then you tell when to stop. Okay, please. Firm bet. Okay, rocket time. I'm going to launch. No, it counts at 3, 2, 1.
Go, stop.
Oh, it stopped. How good's that? So we went from 31.82 to 41.87.
Well done.
Top
Paddy.
and the top $49.
Oh, we'll take
Oh,
it.
that's within 20%. I'll say
Don't
that's
pull
within
its tail.
20%.
We'll take that. We'll take that. We'll
That
take
was
that.
don't have to
good.
death
That
roll.
That was good. That was good.
Good.
All
Do
right.
not pull its tail.
Beauty. All right, punters. Anything else around the grounds? Zamet, you got a best or anything like that?
No, mate, no.
Well, I'll just tell you that there is mail for they obviously like Arctic Glamour in the 1,000 guineas down there. So
that.
for what it's worth, but the comment I just found it funny. I read the comment on RaceNet was should go for a spell.
Who's that? For who?
Let me have a look while I'm racing it now.
Arctic Glamour.
It's only had 3
Oh,
starts,
yeah,
hasn't
because
it?
she's, I suppose, raced a bit as if she was maybe over the top or didn't run the distance.
What I will say,
What are
though,
you reading, Pat? Where does it say should go for a spell?
So look at its last start comment.
she's got
something
the
just
tongue
been
tie goes on.
scratched.
Yeah, one pace that may have come to
Valana,
us.
IME, Straight Acer, Ayrton, they're all out of the Hunter. One of them has only just come out.
Oh,
IME.
that was a wasted bit of form, guys.
3 equal favourites now, Sportsbet. Coal Crusher, Marzu, far too easy.
There you go.
Oh,
Jeez, what about Marzu though? It seems like a horse that could just fucking panel this field.
We've done this.
different gravy.
It's going
We've done
okay,
this.
Pat. It's going okay.
That was Blake's race comments. It's going okay, and we couldn't bank on okay. But look, better in a Cold Crush of the place.
He's
Marzu to win.
wasabi and they're all soy sauce.
Oh yeah.
Yes, much rather soy sauce on my
yeah.
sushi.
And pass me some kimchi.
You go on,
Pass me
Nick.
some kimchi.
Last race at the Sunshine Coast. That's where they are on Saturday. I'm not just waiting for Sunday.
How have you already done 11 races at the Sunny Coast form? How have you already done that?
He's the mug.
Found this horse.
He's a beautiful mind. He's up there.
Oh, you should see his walls.
Yeah.
White
We have to
wall.
fucking card his walls every.
That's why
every
I've moved from the corner desk to the window desk so I could write on the window on the glass. And whatnot. And Defiant Spirit in the last race at the Sunshine Coast. There's speed to burn in that race, and Ryan Maloney's airborne. So just drop in behind them, finish over the top, whoosh.
You should see how many SPs are on the board up there. It's like
I'll tell you,
41.
if I ever lost my wallet at work, I'd send Nick to find it because he can find one. He just
Blake,
goes
got one
looking and
early
he
play?
finds.
no, nothing.
Nothing,
from me
got nothing
yet,
out
no.
there yet. All right. Thanks for joining us, Pat.
Oh, it's been good while I've been here.
It's good to have a guest in the back end of the show, but you survived at punters. We got through Melbourne Cup Carnival. It was fantastic, but the racing doesn't stop. We've got the Hunter and 2 Group 1s in Melbourne, so how good is that?
And the Pinnacles in Perth, DJC will come.
Is that this week?
It starts.
Oh,
I
the
think.
Pinnacles, that's right, it's
Yeah.
called. That was our punters club last year, wasn't it? We did
Oh, yeah. When's the quokka?
That's not till March, is
April
it?
or
Yeah.
something.
Next year.
Yeah, it's not in the
In the carnival.
A few nice horses targeting the carnival. Zaki's going. Roots is going.
We've
Who's
got to
going
take
for the-
Zaki. Zaki's like a grey nomad. Just getting to
Take the
10 years
caravan.
old. Getting to 10 years
Caravan
old.
over.
What
We're
are we
doing the
going to do?
Nullarbor.
What are we going to do? Go home and do nothing and just watch TV? Let's go to.
Let's do the Nullarbor. Friends of ours have done it, and it is amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Put me in the float.
All right, boys. Thank you. Good luck this weekend, punters.
Cheers.